Yo, it's Friday night, 9 p.m. sharp. You know what time it is.
Narcocop and Timothy hitting you with that Lambo energy.
He's Mike by name, but the streets call Narcocop. Used to bust dealers, now he's busting long shots. Retired badge, now he's bad with the bets. Octagon fiend, cashing slips, no regrets. Friday night fight, Seki poured on ice. Lambo Plays podcast, breaking down the price. Got parlays, KO, subs in round 3. Split decision magic, cashing like a G. Lambo Plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo Plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KO's a B round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big LFG. Tim Troiano, lotion in hand. Tennis coach by day, fight fan of the land. Watching WMMA, yeah, you know the drill. Playing with himself, just joking, but still. Impressions fly, Katona in the house. Roses Jr. squeaking, Tim's loud like a mouse. Cornholio vibes, he's stealing the show. Narcos like bruh, but they still go toe to toe. Round 2 chaos, round 3 gold. Split decisions, bets unfold. Side case sipping, parlays lit. Lambo energy, never quit. Lambo Plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo Plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KOSOB round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big LFG.
Narcocop, Timothy, Friday nights, Lambo Plays podcast. Where long shots live large and splits hit harder. We out. We out. We out.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Lambo Plays podcast, episode 132, UFC Des Moines. I'm your host, Mike, along with my co-host, Timothy Troiano. He is back after a hiatus, a couple of weeks off. He needed the refreshing of the mind. He's got his tennis shirt on. He's got his tennis hat on. He's got the mullet going, or close to a mullet, something like that. But yeah, it's a 12-fight card here in Des Moines, Iowa. Tim, welcome back.
Thanks, sir.
I had a replacement for you last week, and Liam did an awesome job. How are you feeling? Most
good.
Importantly, how is your family feeling?
Good. Mom's out of the hospital, so things are good. Just had a rough week last week. She was having some struggles, but things are good. She's out. She's feeling much better. The major stuff that they were worried about is good. So happy to be back, and just appreciate Liam covering me, and I'm excited to get back and chop things up with you, get back to the norm.
Yeah, Tim had just so you guys know, he said he's gonna hit 5 Lambos at minimum this week. I don't know why he's feeling so confident, but hey, when the guy is confident, you can't doubt him, right? Guy feels 5. I don't know why it's at minimum 5. That's a lot, Tim.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to find out this guy who said it to you. Find this other guy named Tim that said it to you.
Let me go over to my chat. Shout out my chat here. Azure says, welcome back, Tim. Thank you, Narcocop. Let's effing go all. What's up, Mushroom? Welcome back, Tim. Another one that he's saying, welcome back. Breeze Master says, let's whip the Lambo to Iowa this week, boys. Smells like money to me. Buster, plenty of underdogs on this one. Let's go Lambo. Jackie Blaine, cash them, don't trash them. Dogs are barking. Love Friday. Smash the like. And welcome back, Tim. Narco, please allow me to welcome back. Look at all these welcome backs. You missed the lotion fight of the year last week. But worry not, my friend, because we have one this week as well. So, Tim, you did miss the lotion fight of the week last week.
Yeah,
right. That might have been actually might have been Lotion fight of the year.
I cannot. Yeah,
Very
it's
close.
tough to debate that. Yeah.
Very close. Very close. All right. DA07 Narco, is Petrovic decision only on MGM a good way to play her as a parlay piece? Maybe. We will talk about that. That's the first fight of the night. So Uncle Wheezy in the house. What's up, Narco and Tim? Let's get this money tomorrow. Jay what? Let's cash. Good vibes to all. Felipe, shout out to Narco and Tim. Let's cash some Lambos. Cameron, let's go, Narco and Tim. I appreciate you, Cameron. Kadeep says, finally caught this live. Let's effing go. Let's effing go. Kadeep, Montana, appreciate you. Oreo, what up, though? What up, my friend? Jesse Q, happy Fridays, my friend. Hired to Mark. Let's effing go. Let's cash these tickets like flapjacks. I got to give credit to Uncle Wheezy right there. That's an Uncle Wheezy line. Saffron says, Haney fight made me do laundry. Dude, Haney is the absolute worst. I turned it off halfway through. That's how bad it was. Who else do we have here? Bonino, what's up, my friend? Adam Whitehead says 5 splits. You might be, Tim's took off so long that he's itching to bet splits. Poker player, what's up, my friend? The Punisher, what's up? Saying what's up to Uncle Wheezy. 124 viewers, Tim. Let's start. First fight of the night. Who is taking this? First fight of the night.
Whatever you want to do, brother. Whatever you want to do.
You chose it last time. Who's taking it?
I'll take it this time.
All right. First fight of the night. It is in the flyweight division. There's a 3-3 Juliana Miller versus the 7-2 Ivana Petrovic. This one's yours.
So, first thing I said in our Discord is this is a fight between a girl that's probably at the top half of the girls that she hangs out with in good looks, and she's probably very douchey and not fun either to hang or to bang, and probably only does missionary. And then you have Juliana Miller, and let me tell you, Juliana Miller is the one that you want to go and take out, because here's the reason why: she's a lot more fun, and she's good to go. So that being said, this is a halfway lotion fight of the year, or halfway a lotion fight of the night. There's a battle between two old ladies. If you're into older women and cougars, that could go your way. That being said, about the fight, I just don't think Petrovic is like a -2XX versus anybody at all. Like, she's never shown that fight skill ability. You say this all the time about fighters. She's a jack of all trades and a master of none. She's literally like a 6.5 at every skill that you got in the game, and she's not much higher than the 6.5 on all of those skills. Juliana Miller, to me, is she's coming back from injuries and she's taking a good time off. She needs to get this fight to the ground. She's very hittable. She's just extremely hittable. And her striking is kind of tragic. Her grappling it's not bad. I mean, like her grappling, if she can get on top, is really good. I think it's not like the problem is that she's like one of those fighters that can't strike to set up takedowns, isn't super physically strong. So I don't really like either one of these fighters like long term. But if you're telling me I got to pick a Lambo in this fight, I think it's Miller by sub or Miller ITD. They're both pretty close. So you might, earlier in the week, you could have gotten like 9-1 on Miller sub. Now it's like 7-1 versus 5-1 ITD. It's almost kind of safer to go ITD at this point, but I think it's most likely a sub. She's grappled. She's won grappling competitions against really good grapplers. So like that's the thing. Like, I think if this fight hits the ground, she's very viable. A sub is a very viable option for her here. So, I also think Petrovic slows down too. So I think rounds like 2 and 3 are more likely. So yeah, I like the Miller side, kind of like puke in your mouth type bet, but I think it's the best one to go with.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty interesting fight because Miller has taken off for a while now. She was injured. Apparently she was injured in that last fight from what she said in an interview. Now she's taken off almost 2 years. She's come back And honestly, she's put on some like decent muscle, it seems like. She's put on some muscle because she was kind of a noodle, man. She was like really skinny, sloppy body. Like, looks like she's packed on a little bit of muscle here. And, you know, in the Luana Santos fight, honestly, like prior to her getting starched, she was landing some good shots on Santos, and she was doing okay. And then she got caught and she got hurt pretty bad. In the Hardy fight, Hardy's just way too fast and way too athletic for her. Like she just, and Hardy's a good anti-grappler, so she just had a ton of trouble with Hardy, you know. She was still throwing up a shit ton of submissions, but maybe one got close. I don't think the other ones did. But, you know, her fighting style is head down, throw a bunch of punches, try to clinch, try to get the fight to the mat. And that's where she does work, right? She has good ground and pound. She's got a good jiu-jitsu game. And, you know, she's dangerous when the mat because she will go for subs. Now, Ivana Petrovic is definitely the better striker of the two. You know, she's an okay, I wouldn't even say she's a great striker. She's an okay striker. A lot of her fights, what's crazy is like, she's like a striker, but every single one of her fights I've watched hits the mat. Like one way or another, they get down there, whether she's doing it, whether her opponents are getting her down, it hits the mat and almost all of her fights. You know, Jamie Lynn Horth had a couple of positions on her where she almost got submissions. Na Liang got on top early in round one before she got reversed. You know, Luana Carolina, there was a point where she got on. A lot of these fights you watch, she's getting grounded. And the one thing I noticed with her, Tim, is she does a lot of head and arm throws, which gets her back taken. She does a lot of like mistakes on the ground, just in general. Like she makes a ton of mistakes and she's going for heel hooks. She's going for knee bars. I mean, I just feel like she's going to get herself in trouble in this fight because she tends to grapple a lot. And I think Juliana Miller is the better grappler here. So I agree with you. I like submission. It was a lot higher early in the week. It was like 9-1. And I told people to play it because it wasn't right. There is still like 8-1. I still like 8-1. Honestly, I just feel like this fight is hitting the mat from what I've seen with Petrovic. 8-1 on I think 365. It's a bet for me. You know, I just feel like it's a little too large. And, you know, I do think that Miller's the better grappler of the two. So plus 800 on Miller submission, you know, whether it be later in the fight, it could be early in the fight. I just think the line has some value there. Let's move on. Fight. No, well, let's go to chat today. Let's see what people are saying. It's better to have the chat involved a little. What do you think? Let's see. Anybody have something good?
Just talking about the elbows, the shoulder surgery.
Look at Philly Joel, Tim. He drove 100 miles per hour to get here on time. Is that recommended?
I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it.
How about if he has a seatbelt
on? Depends on what kind of car he's got. You know.
All right. Philly Joel. It depends on what kind of car you have, but we're gonna give you a pass. I mean, you're driving 100 to watch the Lambo show. Like, we can't fault you for it, right? You got home safely, so that's more important. All right, let's see what else we have here. Have you seen her OnlyFans, says Dixon. I have not. Dixon has seen every girl's OnlyFans. It's insane. I mean, do you subscribe to all these women, Dixon, or what?
The thing is that he's like 40% of his bankroll goes to the subscriptions on OnlyFans. So he's got.
That's what it is. I mean,
keep winning.
Dude,
that's why he's here.
Stop with the subscriptions, bro. Playing for real. What's up, my friend? Thank you for joining, Dylan. I played fight to end in sub. Oh, I have 270. I don't like that. I'd rather play the other side. Yes, Freak says Scottsdale, Arizona treadmill team has arrived. Let's win again. What the fuck is a treadmill team? Can you please tell me this one? Yes, Freak. Is that a new sport? A treadmill? What is that? Do you do tricks like on a treadmill potentially? Like, is that what a treadmill team is?
I think it's a team of people that run together, maybe.
It's possible. On a treadmill?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Hey, it's like
all right, what else do we have here? Not much else. Oh, he said he got a Supra. Is he allowed to? Yeah, Supra, you are. I think you're allowed to. Julius Caesar says he's driving a Lambo. Yeah, that won't work. Bunkus likes Petrovic KO plus 700. Yeah, I'm not really big into Petrovic KO there, but I mean, it's always possible with Juliana Mitter. She's a punching bag. Like it just is what it is. Oh, Daz, $50 dono from my man Daz. I walked really fast to get home. Thanks, guys, for your efforts. Won many, many units last 2 events. Lambos have helped. We appreciate you, my man. Thank you for the dono. You are the best. Daz always coming through with the donos. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, my man. All right, let's move on. Fight number 2. It is in the heavyweight division. It is the 11-8 Dontale Mays versus the 9-3 Thomas Peterson, and I will kick this one off. You know, I think this line's a little too large, man. I really do. Like the money line, just in general, is, you know, we're hitting. Well, I guess it's almost 300 on Dontale Mays. Like, what are we doing over here? Like, this guy is a minus 350 fighter. This Peterson dude, since when? I guess there's been some buyback. It was 350, and now there's some buyback. Like, you know, I watched Mays, and the one thing that sticks out with Mays is fight IQ. It's bad. It's just bad. His fight IQ is bad. But when you talk about, like, he has some power in his hands, his cardio is actually not awful, right? He's got some power. He's hurt. He dropped, what was the dude he dropped? Let me see the guy's name. Oh, he dropped Caio Machado en route to a win. He hurt Hamdi in that fight pretty bad. And obviously Hamdi was on the sauce. You know, he does have a little bit of power. You know what I'm saying? He knocked out Arlovsky. But you could see he has some trouble with wrestlers, right? And Gaziev got him down a couple times. Walter Walker got him down easily and went for the heel hook, and he got him. But, you know, honestly, against like Shamil, like, yeah, he was on his back, but he wasn't anywhere close to being finished, right? And Shamil, honestly, on top is way better than Peterson. Like Peterson, he's got a great single leg, gets people down, but I think his control is not great. And then if you with Dontale Mays, most of the takedowns are like body locks and double legs on him. Like Walter Walker, he went for a double leg and took him down. Shamil Gadziev, one of them was a double leg, one of them was a body lock. So I haven't really seen Peterson go for that double leg or body lock. Most of his are just single leg takedowns. And honestly, in that LFA fight, Acosta got up pretty easily every single time, you know, and then he cooked him. I mean, Peterson's, he's southpaw, you know, his striking is okay at best. But yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, everybody's shitting on Mays, but should he? And I looked at, this is the craziest thing. This is the biggest dog he's ever been.
Yeah, it's by a lot too.
I mean, no, Cyril Gane fight, he was close to this, but we're comparing.
Recently he's
Cyril Gane and Thomas Peterson now, like, so it's kind of weird, right? Like, I think the market has, in my opinion, has overreacted on how bad Dontale Mays is, because this price shouldn't be there with Peterson. Like, can he get takedowns? Sure. I don't know if he can control them. You know, and listen, Dontale Mays is very bad off his back, but he works back up. I've seen him work back up. And again, this guy doesn't have great control. So with all that being said, I mean, May's decision is plus 650, right?
750.
What is it?
750.
Where?
I think it was either DK or FanDuel.
Yeah, okay, well, that's even better. 750 on a fight where, to go to distance is minus 135, right? So you're telling me this dude is plus 750 to win by decision? Why?
Makes no sense.
I don't get it. Well, what's the reason this guy's 750? Is Thomas Peterson some absolute killer that just like destroys people in the cage? I haven't seen it. So I'm gonna take a shot there. Plus 750, you said. I don't see it. Honestly, I see
it's on DK. It's on DK right now, yeah.
Okay, so they moved the line.
Yeah, it's like the split was even worse too. It was 600 at first, and then now it's 750, and the split was 1600. Now it's 2200.
Yeah, well then that's the way to go. Honestly, his decision and split, just to take a crack. Right, he couldn't win big moments by hurting him, but obviously Peterson can get him down and win minutes. But I don't trust Thomas Peterson. By the way, he works full-time, 45 to 50 hours a week, he said. This guy's not a full-time fighter. He's working a lot of hours a week. So when does he have time? And by the way, both of these guys weighed in actually like almost the lowest of their careers. Mays was down to 259, which is good. He's always been heavyweight max. And Thomas Peterson's all the way down at 250. So both guys seem to be in shape. Yeah, I'm just going to go with that Mays decision and split. What do you have here, Tim?
Yeah, it's a really good breakdown. I think I feel like the same way. Like the only other thing that I would say for me is like I have three written down. I have Peterson sub, and then I have Mays points, Mays split, just for the same exact reasons that you're saying. Like I think dude, Mays is like, even his parents tried to warn everybody, don't tail this guy when you're betting him. They put the apostrophe on his name. Like they literally told, it wasn't Dontale. It was like, don't tail this guy. But like, I feel like at the same time, this is the line where it's like, it's getting out of hand. Like you said, this is just the way to gain advantages in any sport betting, especially MMA, is to read the overcorrections and the market overcorrections. And this is like by far what it is. I mean, like, there's no way that you can put like, okay, the Usman fight, he beat Usman, but like literally every round was fucking razor close. Like it wasn't like Usman death gas in round 3. Maybe that one was the only one that's like, okay, but rounds 1 and 2 are like super close. Striking count is really close. Both guys are hurting each other easily. Like wouldn't have been, I was surprised that fight wasn't split. And then he loses to Pokes unanimously. And it's just like, there's no way you can tell me that like those three fighters, like Dontale Mays versus either one of those guys, that you're like, that he doesn't have a chance to win those fights. Like he's got a gigantic size advantage in this fight. Like there's no way that it's required for, in my opinion, it's like, if this fight is standing for 15 minutes, one guy is like, what, 5 inches taller with 7-inch reach advantage? Like, and then one guy is extremely hittable. So like his opponent that's way smaller is also way hittable and walks forward and slow. So it just doesn't make sense to me. Like the last fight, we have a couple of fighters on this card that have cashed like massive 40-1 and plus 400, 4,000s and higher. I think we got like at least three in this card, which is always awesome to go back and look at. Dontale Mays is one of them that we cashed a huge heel hook prop last fight against him. And I just think like that's obviously like the sub is his weakness. Like he obviously sucks on the ground and he just gives up. But like, if you're telling me which one would I rather take on like sub for Peterson or like the Mays, I think they're all good. Honestly, I think 6-1 on sub is not bad. And I think the Mays plus 750 and plus 2,200 on split decision are like, they're just way, way too wide for a fight that's like minus 150 to go to decision.
Yeah, makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, it's an interesting, very interesting fight, but boring probably, honestly. At the end of the day, it's going to be fucking boring as hell. Let's see what they have here. Mays in the UFC because he was a John Jones punching bag. Yeah, it's probably right. But I mean, it doesn't take a lot of skill to get in the UFC as a heavyweight, right? We've seen what's his name? The teddy bear? What the heck is his name? That little short Barnett? The teddy bear Barnett. I mean, does that guy very skilled? Like, why was he in the UFC, right? So watch Dontale bust everyone's parlays. Well, you know what? I'll tell you something. If you're parlaying this freaking guy Peterson, then you deserve to get your parlays busted because laying minus 300 on this guy, it's pretty crazy. Honestly, it really is. Anyways, Tim, let's move on. Fight number 3. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 8-4 Gaston Bolanos versus the 8-2 Quang Lee. And you kick us off here.
This is an interesting fight. I don't think either one of these guys are long in the UFC. I think Bolanos had a very good performance in his last fight going against the dude from the West All-Stars on Key and Peele, Cortavius Romeus. I just think that Cortavius has shown, like, if Cortavius wouldn't have fought his last fight, I think that this line would probably be maybe even wider because they would have respected the way that he fought against him. But just, I think Cortavius showed in his last fight that, like, this dude is just kind of overrated and his grappling is subpar, even though it's his kind of best way to go in fights. So I don't think that he was doing that great. I think that Bolanos had a very good fight against him. He fought well. He did good things. In my opinion, the Quang Lee, I mean, like, he just doesn't seem to be really great at anything either. It looked like he was fighting against his best performance with Gutierrez. Like, he gets him down a couple times, wins one round. I think that's a good sign for him in this fight. I don't think that that's an easy task to do. We saw Castaneda last week struggle a little bit with that, except for the fact that he got up and let him up, which was the dumbest thing in the world. Could have won the fight. But I don't know. I just think this is like a ends by split for me. Here is the only way I would go. Ends by split is plus 400. Seems a little bit like big for this type of fight. Both guys seem to want to strike. One might have a little bit more of a wrestling advantage than the other, but both these guys seem to want to strike. And I don't know. I just think that Bolanos is, if you look back at the McGee fight, like, this dude can get hit. Like, he's not some like savant striker where he's like defensively sound. He's there to be hit. He wants to be in the clinch. He wants to be close. So yeah, give me ends by split here at plus 400.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Bolanos, he's a good striker. He's a good kickboxer, right? Like, he has good kicks, good hands, Obviously, where he lacks is his takedown defense is not great. He gets his back taken in almost every single fight that hits the mat. Cortavius Romeus, if he had half a brain, he wouldn't be going, trying to jump right away and go for arm bars off of the back, like all kinds of stupid moves he was doing, losing position. Aaron Phillips, in that fight had his back for a long time, a couple of times. Aaron Phillips he is a black belt on the ground, but I don't think he's like the best wrestler or anything like that, So he did get the fight to the ground. Marcus McGee was pretty much one-sided. He beat him up pretty bad. And honestly, if you look back at the Cortavius fight, Tim, round 1, he face planted Bolanos. Bolanos was hurt very bad at the end of round 1. He hurt him on the feet. He was stumbling and he face planted because he was so hurt. He couldn't get his feet up. So, I said this to my Discord when BetOnline opened. Quang Lee was plus 1,000 by KO. I'm like, guys, hit this fucking line. This line cannot be right. Quang Lee swings very hard. He has power. I've seen this guy Bolanos get hurt in multiple fights, including the Bellator one. Why is Quang this big of a to win by KO at plus 1,000? That line got nuked. That line got I don't know how far down it is. It's like 500 or 600, I think now. So I wouldn't play it at that price, but at that other price is crazy off in my opinion. Yeah, now it's like 550, 600 is the best price. What I'm looking at now, it's funny because, I liked KO, right? At that big price. Now I kind of like, decision. It's plus 325 on Bet Online. I kind of like that now, Tim, because this guy can get ground control, right? He can win minutes. I don't think he has the best jiu-jitsu. That's why I don't really – the sub is there, but I don't love it because he doesn't have the best jiu-jitsu. But plus 325, it's above that Lambo threshold. And I think he can easily win moments at times, and he can win minutes as far as like grappling. So, Lee coming off that performance, short notice. Yeah, he looked good. But I think the UFC jitters are also like gone now, right? It's his second UFC fight. I don't rate Bolanos very highly. Yeah, I mean, Lee, I'm sorry, it's his third UFC fight. The second UFC fight against that China guy, that guy is tough as fuck, man. That guy he's just a menace to deal with. He's got insane cardio, very good defensive grappling, and he just has power and he keeps coming. And that was a pretty close fight up until, the end there as Quang got tired. He had to travel all the way over there, and, it makes a difference. So I think this is a good fight for him. I think he finds at least a decision here. It's plus 325. Again, it's a little above the threshold. What do you like here, Tim? Oh, you went first. Sorry. Let me go over to chat. People way too convinced Lee's going to wrestle. Why wouldn't he wrestle, though? I think he should. He shoots takedowns. I mean, I've seen him shoot takedowns. He should shoot some here. I mean, why wouldn't you? Bolanos is similar to Gutierrez. Like, he's a kickboxer, right? He doesn't have the same power or kicks in power in his kicks, but similar guy, right? So I think he should grapple, but who knows? All right, let's move on, Tim. Fight number 4 is in the strawweight division. It is the 17-5-2 Marina Rodriguez versus the 15-8 Jillian Robertson. Before I go on, is this considered a lotion fight?
Only halfway. Only if you watch.
Halfway. All right, guys, this is a halfway lotion fight for Tim. I don't really love anything here, to be honest. Like, I know Jillian has great jiu-jitsu. She's always live to sub people, and the sub is like right around there. But man, Marina's never been subbed, and she's faced some really, really, really high level. I mean, can you get any higher than Jandiroba here? Like, she's probably one of the best submission grapplers, honestly.
She's fought Dern and Jandiroba, right?
Yeah, both of them. And the crazy part is, if you look at the Jandiroba fight, you could see there's a lot of fucking control time and minutes on the ground. It's 12 minutes of control with 3 takedowns, and she didn't sub her. She didn't even have a sub attempt. So it's hard for me to envision Jillian subbing her, but like, Jillian's very good on the ground. Don't get me wrong, but like, watching her against Pinheiro, watching her against Watterson, like, she couldn't get the sub there. Like, I don't know if she's going to be able to sub Marina Rodriguez. So with that being said, if Marina does, or she's able to keep this standing or make her work and get back up, her decision line is 450 on Bet Online. I mean, she's the better striker. There's no question about it, right? Like we can't question that. So obviously Jillian at this weight class, she's getting people down. She's doing her thing. But plus 450 bet online. I mean, I have to play that, dude. Like it's a must play just because the line's a little too big. I mean, if Jillian just mauls her on the ground, then she does. But I think that's where I'm going with this fight. Plus 450 bet online by decision.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I might push back a little bit on, like, I think, like, if you just did, like, pure jiu-jitsu competitions between, like, Dern and Jandaroba and Jillian, like, I think that they're better, that they have better jiu-jitsu than she does, like, pure jiu-jitsu. I think Jillian's got very good jiu-jitsu, don't get me wrong. But I think the difference on both of them is, especially Verna, is, like, Verna just doesn't strike when she's on the ground. Like, she just does, like, Dern will beat the shit out of you on the ground and try to, but I think, like, there's, like, a mixture between Dern and Jandaroba when I'm watching them not get subs and losing, like, unit after unit on their sub props, like last fight with Verna. It's like, they, like, hold, like, Verna will hold position and then she'll wait until, like, the last minute a lot of times, and then she'll go for the sub when it doesn't lose her the round, because then she goes for an arm bar, she puts herself on bottom, and then she's like, well, I don't want to lose the round if I don't get this, and then you're on top of me. So, like, she's way more conservative in trying to get top time, and she doesn't really throw any ground and pound. It's almost like she's almost never over, like, 35 strikes, even when she's getting 8, 9, 10 minutes of top time. Then you look at Dern, and it's like, Dern is it's tougher for her to get fights to the ground. When she does throw ground and pound, and she is more dangerous from ground and pound than Verna, but I don't think that she's, like, she goes for, like, a lot of, like, flashier subs where it's not like rear naked chokes and just, like, beat you, take your back. It's like she'll go for shit that's, like, it's just flashier. Where if you look I think from Jillian's now coming down to 115, I think that's, like, just this is the weight class she should have been at. She was not able to get people down. She's been able to get everybody that she's fought down. I think the fight against Watterson should have been stopped, like, 5 times. She was beating the living shit out of her. It should have been a KO. Multiple rounds, round 2 and round 3. I remember screaming at the TV, just like, what are we fucking doing here? We both, I think, had huge lines on 2 and 3 and KO for her there. So I think that it's possible that she could actually get a sub. I think it's most likely a decision, but I do think it's possible that, like round 2, round 3 is 850 and 1200. And my whisper bet would be KO2, KO3, 33 to 1, 45 to 1. Just positional, kind of similar thing than what she's done in versus Watterson. I just think that it's possible that she could get in a position here and have 8 or 9 minutes of top time and just be raining elbows and, you know, just being a positional KO. So I honestly think that the sub is you know, equally live, but I think that the KO here is it's there. I think she does a lot on top. She's not going to just be top timing her and waiting.
Yeah, she does. You're right. I mean, she does throw ground and pound, and I could potentially see it. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a huge number, right? So, like, I'm not going to blame you taking these huge numbers on somebody that does throw ground and pound, and most likely, like, she probably gets a couple of takedowns, right? All right, let's move on. Fight number 5. It is in the middleweight division. It is a 19-3 Azamat Bekoev versus the 7-1 Ryan Loader. This one's yours, Tim.
This fight, from a breakdown perspective, is, to me, like, kind of similar to, I'm not saying, like, from a technical standpoint, that it's like the bets that I like in this fight are the same as the Dontale Mays versus Peterson. Like, I just think that this is, like, Loader, to me, has a style that, you know, he has a path in this fight. Like, he has a path in this fight to win a decision, to win a split decision, and just get tons and tons of top time, losing striking, and have it be a close decision where it's like when he doesn't get the fight down to the ground, he's probably getting, beat up on the feet. And then when he does get the top time, he gets a little bit of ground and pound, 3 minutes top time, whatever he does. But like, I just think that the wrestling is clearly his path, and he knows that the wrestling is clearly his path. And then you look at Bekoev, and the guys that Bekoev is losing to are wrestlers, like, and guys that can take him down, like, and guys that can hold him down, and guys that he can't wrestle himself. The Budka fight, I'm not one to like take one bad fight and say like, this is this is what your average is here. And this is like, but that's a really bad fight for him. I mean, like, he's just struggling to wrestle with him. I know I'm not saying that it was, what we've seen from Budka against UFC level fighters is like, this dude can be grappled. Like, he is, he can be wrestle fucked. He can, like, he's not a great grappler himself. So I think that that's a pretty bad look. Also from Budka, we've seen that he's like completely hittable on the feet and can be beat up on the feet. He really didn't have like huge edges anywhere there. So to me, I just think it's like, if you're on the Loader side, you should be betting his decision and you should be betting his split. Those are 650 and 1800. And then I actually like the Bekoev sub in this fight because I think a club and sub is live, and I think a guillotine is going to be live here. Front choke series is going to be live here. That he could just like, I just think that the positions, Valentin got Loader in and was able to reverse him into. I just think like, yes, I think two sides of it. I think number one, I think he did really well to get out of those situations. And then I also think in the same breath, I'm like, yeah, you got out of those situations, but how many times are you going to get out of those situations out of 5? And that was 2 of your lives right there. And I don't think that you're getting out of that situation. And that choke was literally sunk in. So yeah, I think if you're on Bekoev, I like his sub plus 490. And I think Loader by decision, Loader split would be the way I would go if I was on him. I think it's more likely the sub for Bekoev, but I gotta make the point of if you're on the Loader, what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Ryan Loader's a D1 wrestler, supposedly a 2-time, I think, D1 All-American even wrestler. I mean, he was at Northern Iowa. Maybe he's not an All-American, but he was a D1 wrestler. He's got, that's just how he fights, right? He's gonna come in, strike a little bit, and then just immediately go for takedowns. My issue with him is, first of all, he loses position a lot. Second of all, he's awful when it comes to his defense on the feet, man. He gets clipped a lot. And I think Bekoev has real power. I mean, the issue I have for Loader here is that Bekoev is a great wrestler himself. Like, he's faced Chris Honeycutt. He's faced like really, really good wrestlers and done really, really well against, in ACA. So, and if you know ACA, that's all they do over there. It's all they fucking do with those Dagestanis is wrestle. So, Bekoev's still young. I think he's like, 28, 29? He's not old at all. Yeah, he's 29. So, Ryan Loader's up against it, honestly, here. Like, I don't think takedowns are going to come easy. He's going to get hit on the feet. I've seen him hurt before. He gasses a lot. That's the other thing, Tim. In this fight, Loader is going to shoot a ton, but if he doesn't get takedowns, what's his gas tank going to look like?
Yeah, I think both of these guys have shown that they've gassed a little bit. I think one has gone 5 rounds before, but like, I think it's a dip.
Bekoev has definitely proven that he can go 5 multiple times.
Yeah.
Not once.
And one's going to have, like you're saying, one's going to have to wrestle absolutely all fight.
I mean, he's gone a decision many times. Bekoev, I think 5 from what it looks like, 6. Yeah, about 7 times. So, 6 times. So he's got way more experience as well. Let's talk about that, So, yeah, man, Bekoev is a way better striker. I think he can stuff the takedowns. He might even get on top of Loader. We saw Loader in very bad positions against Valentin, so that wasn't a great look. But I'm going to go with rounds 2 and 3 here, Tim. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. Plus 550 on Hard Rock on round 2 and plus 850 on FanDuel.
I like it.
I mean, I think it's fairly straightforward, right? Stuff takedowns, piece him up on the feet, finish him when he's tired, whether it be I think it's KO. I don't think it's sub, but it could be. But that's how I think it happens, though. I just feel like he's going to wear on him and then eventually finish him. All right, let's move on. Fight number 6. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 15-8 Jana Santos versus the 20-9 Miesha Tate. The first one's not the whisper bet, but the second one is. So why is Miesha Tate sub plus 650? That's the first go around. That doesn't make sense to me because her path is to get this fight on the ground. And I think on the ground, she finishes via sub. I don't think it's ground and pound. She does have some ground and pound, but I think it's going to be sub. And I think it's not early either. When Jana Santos is fresh, it's not early. Jana Santos slows down in all of her late round 3s. Miesha Tate can go and go and go. She has good cardio. My whisper bet is not the biggest one, but whisper bet of the week is sub 2-3 on Miesha Tate in this fight. I think she's going to finish her by sub later. Jana Santos, while fresh early, she's strong. She's good in the clinch. Miesha might have trouble here early, but I think she wears on her eventually. She might find the sub in 2-3. What do you like here, Tim?
Miesha is we have Miesha, we have Jillian, and Dontale is losing for the 3 fights that we've hit like plus 4,000s or higher. Miesha was glorious against Julia Avila. We got round 3 at like plus 2,200, and then sub 3 was like plus 4,000 or higher. I agree. I think the sub line is stupid for Miesha, and I do agree that I think it's round 2, round 3. I'm safely going to just go round 2 and 3. I probably will also bet I probably will also maybe take just a shot on the sub, but like, I mean, against Avila, I was concerned that she was going to KO her. Like she was throwing mad ground and pound. Like, and I think that the positional ground and pound here is live. Like I do think like that this is the same type of fight where if she's getting her on the cage and she's getting her down, like she's really tough on top and she does throw ground and pound and she will like, it just scares me to like just play the sub and the sub 2-3 for this fight. So I'm going to just go round 2 at 1,200. Round 3 is at 1,600. And my whisper bet would be on the other side. I would take small stabs at the 34 and 4,000 on KO2 and KO3. Just if she does get in those same again, like I cashed the like 4,000 on the sub, but I was like, dude, stop punching. Like it's right there. Take her neck. Like stop punching. And it was like, they're going to stop this fight. It's going to be a fucking KO. I'm going to be heartbroken. But like, yeah, I just think it's definitely, both options I think are viable in this one. I think Jana has also shown that she can be taken out either way in those respects. So yeah, I like late round props here for Tate and small stabs at the KO 2-3.
Yeah, I mean she's been ground and pound. It's funny, all three KOs are ground and pound, right?
Yep.
But I will say those girls are a lot like better, I guess, with ground and pound. I would call maybe not Aspen Ladd,
not Aspen
for sure.
Yeah,
but for sure, Cyborg and Aldana, they're huge and on top, and yeah, I mean those two for sure are. All right, let's move on here. Fight number 7. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 29-21 Jeremy Stephens versus the 15-2 Mason Jones, and this one's yours.
It's the only reason that they're bringing back Jeremy Stephens because this is in Iowa. Like this is it has to be it, right? Like I'm looking at it. I'm like it doesn't make any sense. Mason Jones is a good fighter, and he's got that Welsh style of just like take a beating to give a beating. Likes fighting. He's rarely in boring fights. I think that he's probably going to give Jeremy Stevens the type of fight early that he wants, he would be really smart, and Mason Jones would be really smart to, and we see where he's at, like game plan wise. We'll see if he wants to come back to the UFC after some time off and some regional promotions. If he wants to like come back and just fight super smart or not. Because if he wants to fight smart, he instantly shoots takedown in this fight. Like he instantly cage pushes and shoots takedown and gets him on the ground. Because this is the reason why Jeremy Stevens doesn't fight MMA anymore. Just goes bare knuckle because he doesn't want to grapple, and he's shown that he can be kind of audited in that frame. So I like Jones by sub plus 380. I like round 2, round 3 in general plus 490 plus 1,000. Yeah, I just think that the sub is more likely the path for him if he takes the fight to the ground. He could beat him up on the ground too. I think standing KO, it's live for both of the guys, but I think if he gets the fight to the ground, I think the sub is just going to be pretty, it's going to be there for him. I think Mateus Gamrot showed like he hasn't shown against a lot of guys like insta sub, and that was pretty much insta sub here. So yeah, give me Jones by sub and then basic round, only round 2, round 3 to cover both ends.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know what to think of this fight. On one hand, I think Mason Jones should grapple. On the other hand, Mason Jones has showed me that he will fuck around and stand with people. Like he won't grapple when he has an edge, and I mean, this is the thing with this fight. And I'm not talking about the UFC. In the UFC, he's typically grappled, but in the regionals, he just stands with people a lot, gets hit, and he's a madman. He likes to give one, to take one. But Stevens has shown like he can get taken down, right? Like that's one thing we know. He can get taken down. He's been taken down a bunch. In the UFC, prior when he was there, he's got a 65% takedown defense. And, because of the volume, it's easy for Mason Jones to drop down and get a takedown because the guy spams volume. He makes you worried about his hands, and then he can drop down and get a takedown, right? I don't know, man. Stevens is hard to sub. And I'm not saying, I know Gamrot got him, right? It was just one of those weird things. But if you look at historically, like, it's not that easy to sub. The last time before that, Tim, that he was subbed in the UFC was Joel Luozan in 2009. Long fucking time ago, And if you look, he's faced some pretty good grapplers. I mean, Zabit is good. Renato Moicano is good. Renan Barao is good. I mean, he's faced some good grapplers. Charles Oliveira. All of those guys got him down, but none of them subbed him. Obviously, lately he's been subbed, right? 1, 2 times he's been subbed of late. Natan Schultz got him, and Gamrot got him. I would say Natan Schultz is kind of like a Mason Jones, maybe on the ground. Maybe he's a little bit better. They're both black belts, I think. Schultz is like a judo background. I mean, I agree with you here. I think that the only thing you can play on this fight, obviously, you're saying 2-3. Yes and no. I don't think Stevens has a bad gas tank. That's the only thing, right? I lean more sub than that, and it's like almost 4-1, like 390, right, is the best price, I think. That's where I think I lean. I just think Jones can potentially get a sub here. If you ask me what I think the best outcome here is, probably decision. Jones decision is what I think, but pricing wise, Lambo wise, I would have to go Jones sub at plus 390. That's That's basically the only one that, I can play. I don't think he's going to KO him. Now, if you want to get sneaky a little, you can definitely play KO on Stevens. Like he has a ton of power, and it's 9-1, and we know Jones is super, super hittable, right? So, I mean, if you kind of lean like the Stevens side, I would probably play KO because it's so big.
Yeah.
Anyway, fight number 8. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 12-4 Cameron Smotherman versus the 11-2 Siri City. I like this fight. I think it's a very good fight. We got a boxer in Cameron Smotherman who looked good against Hadley. I don't know what to make of that fight, man. Hadley is just a moron. Like, he didn't fight right. He hurt, actually, Smotherman at the end of round 3. He just didn't grapple, dude. He was on the back foot the whole time, which was very awkward. Just letting Cameron Smotherman walk him down and win minutes. And he was a plus like 400 or 500 dog in that fight. Siri City, on the other hand, like he mixes everything. He's got good kicks, good knees, good clinch work. He's got hands, good volume, good cardio. He's very durable. But the one thing that he's very bad at is he gets hit a lot, right? He's definitely gets hit. He's hittable, but so is Cameron Smotherman, honestly. Cameron Smotherman's been hurt and dropped in many fights, including Fury. So I just think this is going to be a close fight. I do like City. I like City's side here. Just because he has the more well-rounded MMA game compared to Smotherman. Smotherman has good hooks, has some power in his hands, but he really does nothing else. Like, he just boxes and that's it. And, City mixes up his stuff. And I do think that this fight's going to be close. Split decision, 4-1. That's the only thing I can give out here. But I do think Siri City wins the fight. You, Tim?
Yeah, I'm on the same thing. I think ends by split here. Either guy that you like by split is 8-1 or 9-1. Cam is 9-1. Siri is 8-1. I was thinking this fight was going to be like plus 300 on end split. Then so you're getting the extra $1 there. That's pretty good by me. Same kind of read. Like, if City showed any proactive grappling in any one of the 3 fights, I think I would be betting him on this side, but he hasn't shown it at all. He's shown in regionals a little bit, but he hasn't shown in the UFC. In fights where, like, you would think against Tavares that he would have, he had moments where he was getting beat up in that second fight, and he was bleeding. So it's not like the guy can't. It's not like he's incapable of grappling. But if you're saying who has a grappling edge in this fight, it's clearly him. But yeah, ends by split for me on this one. Not really gonna go too long on it.
All right, let's move on. Fight number 9. It is in the bantamweight division. It is a 14-2 Montel Jackson versus the 17-0 Daniel Marcos. Great fight, Tim. What can you muster up with a Lambo in this one?
Am I muted here? Sorry. Sorry about that. I think this fight is interesting a couple different ways. I think that the size disparity is huge here. The reach is huge. I think that there is a grappling edge for Montel as well. To me, I feel like it's like a close decision or a knockout for Montel. And the reason why I think it's like a close decision on that path is Montel's just like a guy that he's rarely getting over like 70 strikes in a fight. Like he's waiting, he's picking his shots, he's trying to hit you with something big. He's not like huge volume guy ever. I think that there's the volume, it's minutes versus moments in this fight. And I just think that there's the naked leg kick knockout. There's some part of me that just sees like a naked leg kick here that then he just gets straight left bonk. So yeah, the end split is 350. The KO for Montel is 400. I think either one of those are good. I'll go with the Montel by KO though.
Yeah, I mean, Montel has a ton of power. I mean, you know what I noticed, Tim? Which is extremely I didn't know this, obviously. Like after I looked at it, I'm like, what? Montel Jackson. I'm gonna give you a question and then you answer it. Okay. He's got how many fights in the UFC? 10. How many knockdowns do you think Montel Jackson has in 10 fights?
8 or 9.
11. He's got 11 fucking knockdowns.
Yeah.
And the only people he hasn't knocked down is Simone Kelleher and Sukmantat. After that, in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights, he's got a knockdown in every single one. So, I mean, this guy has a shit ton of power. Like he's long, lengthy, he's huge for 135. He has pop. And he's facing a guy in Marcos who's 17-0. I will say that, I don't know, man. This guy's 17-0 record just rubs me the wrong way. Like, look at the Giannis fight, how close it was. Look at the Davy Grant fight, where I think he lost the fight, how close that was. You know, a bunch of these fights, you know, is he winning? Sure. He beat Castaneda, you know. He beat Simon Oliveira, which is not saying much. But, like, these other fights are against Grant, where he stepped up a little, and then Jana, as he stepped up a little. Fair razor close fights.
I thought he lost to Grant too, right?
Yeah. He lost to Davy Grant, in my opinion. So, like, Montel Jackson, I think, here's the thing. What I will say, what advantages Marcos has is kicking those skinny legs, right? He's got very good kicks. So he needs to kick inside, outside, do whatever you need to do to slow down Montel Jackson's movement and range, right? Because he's got very good range. He's long. He's got great pop. You don't want to be at the end of his punches. Your end of those punches, you're going to get dropped. And that's where, you know, he carries a lot of the power at the end of his punches because he's so long and he generates a lot of power, you know, behind his punches. So it's a tricky one for me because I do think that Marcos has a path, like kicking the legs, you know, attritional stuff, right? But I also feel like Marcos has been hurt before. I've seen him hurt before. He is tough, but I mean, when you're giving me Jackson 4-1 on the KO, right? And I just gave you a fucking crazy stat. Did I just not give you a crazy stat? I mean, 11 knockdowns in 10 fights. How can you not play KO at plus 400, right? Like, I think it's kind of like a square play, I would say. Maybe you would call it square, but man, it could even be where he's kicking and he eats a straight left hand right down the pipe and drops him, you know? So that's what's his name did, right? Blackshear threw a naked kick and just went to sleep. So
I think it's square. I think it's square at plus like 200 or plus 220 or something like that. It's not. I don't think it's square at plus 400 for him.
Yeah, I'm just saying square. I didn't mean it like that. I meant square, like as in it's obvious, right? Like it's an obvious play, right? That's what I mean. Not the price. I think the price is actually good.
Yeah, me too.
4-1 on Montel Jackson by KO, I think is pretty damn good, honestly. So, all right, let's move on. Fight number 10. It is in the welterweight division. It is the 30-8 Santiago Ponzanibio versus the 18-5 Daniel Rodriguez. Striker versus striker for the most part. I think Ponzanibio can land takedowns. I think Ponzanibio has the better footwork. I think Ponzanibio has the better overall striking, in my opinion, with the kicks and everything else. I do like his side, but I think this fight's probably going to be close. Both guys are 39, right? Split is 3.5-1, Tim. It's like that's where I'm going. I know people, Ponzanibio's been hurt a lot lately, but the guy survives for the most part, right? He gets dropped, but he survives. He came back last fight, knocked out what's his name in round 3. Rodriguez's durability is kind of waning as well. So the thing I see with Rodriguez is Moreno was landing those loopy hooks. Ponzanibio comes right up the middle, man. He throws a beautiful one too with power. I think he can land that on Rodriguez quite a bit. And I just feel like he still has a little bit more bounce in him, right? Rodriguez is stationary. He doesn't have bounce. He doesn't look like he's in the best shape, honestly. Yeah, I mean, split decision 350. I wouldn't be shocked if Ponzanibio knocked him out, but I'm going to go with the split plus 350. Durable guys for the most part, 39. Obviously, they're getting older, but I think there could be some wrestling for Pons, winning minutes as well. So give me the 3.5-1 on the split. Tim?
Yeah, I kind of see it the same way. I think that you have two fighters that are going to be getting their AARP papers pretty soon here. And I just, one to me just seems to fight through a little bit more adversity and just has a little bit more dog in them, and that's Pons. But he also, I think his durability is a little bit more shot at this point than D-Rod. I mean, D-Rod's getting only knocked out by a head kick versus Ian Gary. Other than that, he's shown pretty solid durability. I think D-Rod once kind of brawls, and he once I don't think Pons is that type of fighter either. He's going to be more in and out. So yeah, I just think that this is kind of an end split. The only other play I would consider, I like the end split as my play as well, but we were talking about this pre-card is D-Rod KO is almost 5-1. It's plus 490. Pretty much Pons has been dropped or hurt in almost every one of his last 4 or 5 fights. So I don't hate if you're playing that either, but yeah, ends by split or D-Rod KO for me.
Yeah, I mean, very well could be D-Rod KO. I mean, Ponzanibio, like you said, he's been getting hurt a lot. Not feeling great about that. I have a Ponzanibio bet, but as the week has gone on, I've been thinking about it. Damn, why am I betting a 39-year-old against a 39-year-old? But I swear, but looking at tape, he looks like the better fighter, overall.
Yeah.
He can mix takedowns, he's still mixing takedowns in. Rodriguez does nothing but box, bro. That's all he does.
It's also one of those things where it's Rodriguez has also looked pretty washed his last couple fights. He doesn't look good at all. And I think it's okay, if to me, the only fear is just the knockout. If you're saying the fight goes 15, I would say it's probably 60-40.
But watching Gastelum just look like a D1 wrestler, why can't Ponzanibio land takedowns? He goes. Anyways, let's move on. Fight number 11. It is in the middleweight division. It is the 19-2 Rene de Ritter versus the 7-0 Bo Nickal. Tim, this one's yours.
This is interesting. I think that this is good that the UFC is putting somebody with a pulse versus Bo Nickal now. The last fight was interesting with Bo Nickal versus Paul Craig. I've been seeing and hearing people talk about Paul Craig and comparing RDR to Paul Craig, and that shit needs to stop. From a grappling perspective, RDR would absolutely sodomize Paul Craig on the ground. He would butt rape him hard. It's not close. He's gigantic. He would be 25 pounds heavier than him. He would maul him on the ground. He wouldn't get guard subbed. He's gone against guys that are 500 times better than Paul Craig. So I don't think that's I just needed to say that from I've just been hearing a bunch of people compare the Paul Craig and he didn't want to grapple with Paul Craig. It's okay, yeah, I get that. But that was just also one of the most boring, obviously, fights to watch, and people that had, Bo by KO and Bo by, inside the distance props, and they lost him. But if you're saying tactically what is the smartest way to go in that fight, yeah, I mean, do you want to give the guy his only win condition? That it's a very smart way to fight for Bo. So I think that that's actually good. It's, to me, I just look at it, I'm like, now that he did strike with Paul Craig, and he did win unanimously, but it wasn't really pretty. I mean, like, it wasn't like this dude is a really great striker, and he's making leaps and bounds in this part of his game, which he needs to make if he's going to be challenging for a title at any point. And I just think like it showed also maybe that he doesn't want to put himself in that realm. So I think that probably the same thing happens here. I think that there's, not a lot of wrestling opportunities for RDR to get the judo is, that's his way. That's his way to get fights to the ground. I don't think he's body locking, taking down Bo with a body lock takedown and a throw at all. I think Bo gets to decide where this fight is fought. At any moment that he feels that the striking isn't going his way. If it isn't going his way, he could take him down, and then it becomes what happens on the ground. I think that's the question. So Rayner, for me, also, I think in the GM3 fight was getting hit pretty easily. And a lot of times he got hurt a couple times. I think round 3, he was pretty tired, landed in a good spot. GM3 was a little bit more tired, and then he finished him. So to me, I think it's most likely scenario. It's a used Corolla, Bo by points, but I might sprinkle small on round 3 for Bo as well at plus 750. I think round 3 or decision for him is the way I would go. Wouldn't put it either way. I think he could KO him. I think he might be able to sub him in a situation where if De Ritter is death gassed, I think it's possible he could front choke him or something like that as well. So kind of like a fluffy Hernandez versus Vieira when Vieira death gassed. But yeah, lean decision way more.
Yeah, De Ritter is massive, dude. He's massive compared to Bo Nickal. He's a big dude. But his striking sucks, man. I mean, watching Miesha just light this guy up for the most part in round 1, and then he got dropped bad, right? He was winning round 1 easily until he got dropped at the end of the round. Round 2, again, he won. Miesha won, and then he got finished in round 3. The Ritter's striking defense just not very good, man. It's just not very good. And, outside of the striking defense, Tim, the reactions when he gets hit, bro, like turning away, he does these weird reactions when he gets clipped. And, like you said, Bo Nickal, did he look great against Paul Craig? No. But did he fight smart? Yes. I mean, he kicked the legs. He had the speed advantage, so he popped in and out whenever he can, throwing big shots. And he did what he had to do. I mean, it was kind of a big step up for him, against a bigger dude. Obviously, Paul Craig is not a good striker. I would probably label him right there with Ritter, right? The Ritter is the same shit. He's not a good striker. He fights out of the southpaw stance. So does Paul Craig. Or maybe Craig is orthodox. I don't even remember. But I do think that, like, the problem for the Ritter here is he needs to fight in the ground. Like, he's never really won a stand-up fight against anybody, right? Like, when you watch him in the stand-up, he's getting – I get Malkin is really good, but he got killed in both of those fights, Then you watch a stand-up against Gerald Miesha, and he looks awful. And when you look at the Kevin Holland fight, like, what happens if he doesn't get Kevin Holland down, right? Kevin Holland probably lights his ass up like a Christmas tree. The problem is Kevin Holland has no takedown defense at 185, right? He can't defend the takedown if his life depended on it. So, in this fight, it's like he can't get Nickal down. I don't see him getting Nickal down. So what happens then? It becomes a stand-up fight, right? And the problem is everything is going to be dictated by Nickal. When Nickal feels the pressure, he might shoot for a takedown. Listen, if he gets on top, it's not like De Ritter can instantly sub this guy. This guy's a high-level wrestler, guys. He's probably going to move to side control or something,
DeRitter's not nearly as dangerous on his back as he is. He's not like Paul.
And then also a high level wrestler like this, you know how heavy these guys are on top? Like it's probably insane. Something DeRitter's never felt, you know, and watching him against Meerschaert, getting on top of him, out grappling him at points of that fight, that's bearish, you know, for him. That's very bearish. So I kind of think Nickal's going to fight smart, man. He's just going to point fight, in my opinion, maybe mix in some takedowns, but do nothing crazy. Decision is 225. Like I just, when I look at the KO, Tim, it's like, why is KO is lower than fucking decision? He just didn't finish a guy basically that's been finishing every fight of it, every one of his losses.
Everyone.
Huh?
Yeah. Everyone. Yeah, it's the same. That's why everybody.
Craig has 9 losses, right? 7 of them are inside the distance, right? The only people not to finish him are Bo Nickal and Volkan Ozdemir in that fight where it was absolutely ass. He just kept flopping to his back. Do you remember? And Ozdemir was scared shitless. He didn't want to go in his guard. And that's it. Everybody else has fucking finished this dude. So why are people so convinced on the KO against DeRitter? Like the guys, listen, DeRitter, I don't think he's good. His striking defense is bad. But the dude that KO'd him, Malkin, and he's an absolute killer. He hits like a truck.
Roided
He's
freak.
A savage.
Yeah.
So it's like a guy that's a savage is the only guy that's knocked this dude out. Like I understand he doesn't look good. He turns away, but he never gives up on himself, you know? So yeah, I like his decision way more than KO. I don't even get the KO. It's kind of weird that it's that low. Anyways, before we move on, 446 live viewers. Appreciate you guys. Please hit the like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Hit the notification also when you are subscribed so you know when we go live. It's obviously every Friday. I kind of keep saying it. I want to do more content. I just don't have time. But again, thank you very much to everybody. If you do want to join my Discord, live betting tomorrow, link is down below, $25 a month. Don't drink coffee for how many days? 4 days, maybe? Yeah. And get in my Discord, and then you can drink coffee every day for the rest of the year. With that being said, Tim, let's move on. Main event of the night. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 17-5 Corey Sanhagen versus the 24-4-1 Davison Figueiredo, and I will kick this one off. My gut feeling, Tim, is this fight goes the distance. My gut feeling, right? And I think Sanhagen wins a decision here quite a bit. But it's minus 160. What am I going to do with that, right? What the fuck am I going to do with minus 160? I talk about Lambos. I talk about used Corollas. Last week, I talked about a fucking bicycle. At minus 160, I'm going to have to fucking sell a bicycle in order if I can play this play. Fuck this. Like, this is a horrific line. So I'm not going to touch that. Obviously, Sanhagen has the cardio edge. Obviously, he has the volume edge. I guess you want to take a shot. It's round 4 and 5. It's 1,900, 2,400. I don't think he finishes him, quite honestly, because when I watch Figueiredo in his last fight, which was also 5 rounds against Peter Yan, he actually did better in round 5 than he did in the beginning. You know, I can't believe I was looking at, and it was a 50-45 decision. They didn't even credit him with a knockdown.
Yeah,
he knocked down Peter Yan, bro.
Yeah,
it's like, how did they not give him a credit of a knock? There was actually 2 times that he could have almost got credit for a knockdown. He dropped him one time. One time might have been like he was off balance, but one for sure was a knockdown, and they didn't give it to him. So the line, the scorecards were weird. All 3 judges saw 50-45. I had a Yan bet pretty big, but like that line's just like weird. 50-45, that scorecard. But yeah, I mean, Sanhagen wins, I think. Volume, big volume edge. He's got wrestling edge here. However, I will say Figueiredo could land takedowns on. He's very explosive when he goes. He got Yan down, He's explosive with them when he wants them. So yeah, I like Sanhagen and these late round props, it's just a sprinkle because the cardio edge, he does have the cardio edge, and he's a big volume guy. That's the thing. He's going to teep you to your body. He's going to grapple. He's going to do all that stuff, and you're going to get a big price on the late round props. So for me, round 4, 1,900, round 5, 2,400, Corey Sanhagen. Tim?
Major echo chamber here. Basically, if you want my breakdown, just rewind this tape just like 2 minutes here and listen to what Narco just said. I totally agree. I think that this is Corey decision. Like, probably the line on Corey decision is probably accurate, maybe even a little bit short. And yeah, 3-4, like the 3-4-5. Yeah, 4-5 is more likely. Just I don't think Mushroom said flying knee. I could actually really see that happening too. He's kind of like a flashy kind of dude, and I think that the thing I like about Sanhagen is he's got really good eyes when he's striking. Like, he's just, his ability and his vision to know where to hit guys. Like, if they're too close and they're coming in, like, he'll switch a punch to an elbow. He does flying knees. Like, he's just like really good visually with his strikes. And I could definitely see him flying knee here as well. So yeah, the 3-4-5 late props for Corey for me as well. I think it would be probably 4-5 as well. So.
All right. All right. All 12 fights. Tim, Lambo Parlay time. I'm going to give mine. Then you can give yours. Mine is Quang Lee decision. Bekoev KO. Nickal decision. 39-1. Tim?
39-1. All right. I've got 2. One is a shoot for the moon crazy one. I'll give that one next. The other one is my real deal. I've got Tate 2-3 mixed in with Mason Jones 2-3 round robin. And then shoot for the moon, guys. 460-1. Tate KO 2-3. Jillian KO 2-3. Put $5 on it. Thank me later. 461-1.
That's definitely a shoot to moon. I'm going to do a $1 million parlay tomorrow. Look out for it. I'm going to be posting it on Twitter. I already have some ideas of this million. It's not going to be a lot of legs. It's going to be, we either hit it or it hits us. So we're going to try to bankrupt FanDuel tomorrow. That's the plan. But yeah, again, thank you to everybody. 474 live viewers. It's been, dude, it's just, this show has just been getting bigger and bigger and bigger every week. And it's because of you guys. It's because of all of my followers. It's because of Tim. It's because of everybody. It's not just, it's not a one-man show. It's not a two-man show. It's a group show. So, with that being said, thank you very much, guys. Again, thank you to Daz for that great dono. Appreciate that. Tim, do you have any parting words? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks again. As always, love the show. Love you as well, brother. And just glad to be back. It's obviously, shit went on last week, but glad to be back with everybody. Sign up for Narco's Discord, guys. I mean, honestly, $25, like you said. This is like 3 venti frappalappadates from Starbucks nowadays. Those things are like,
is it only 3?
They're like 6 or 7. Yeah, it's like probably like 4. But if you get the extra frappa or the lappa in there, you're paying extra plus the tips. All
right.
But it's definitely worth your money, guys.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate you. By the way, I had a lot of people message and put comments. Where's Tim? We need Tim. You guys make a great duo. So the people do love you, Tim. They love you. Prayers to your mom, is Dixon saying, and everybody else. So with that being said, good luck tomorrow to everybody. I will be doing the final bell tomorrow. I didn't do it last week. I got so busy. But tomorrow, the final bell on Twitter. Look for the notification. I don't know exactly what time, but probably around 4 Eastern, maybe 3 Eastern. Depends. I don't know if you're going to join. Do you usually join that, Tim? I don't.
Not usually, no. Yeah.
You usually don't join, but okay. Anyways, good luck to everybody. And let's cash those tickets for UFC Des Moines. Peace.